Monday, March 6th, and it is a nice day outside, which is great, but today is day off from training. I always take Mondays and I try to get in a strength session out at Fortius, and I also get a massage on Mondays with Matt Thompson, and that really helps to alleviate the stresses of the week prior. So, the good news is the man cold wasn't as bad as it seemed like it was going to be, and it's actually subsided quite well, so I think I'm in a very good spot this week to start nailing training and maybe complain a little bit less on a day-to-day basis than I did last week. Tuesday, March 7th.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
Thank you.
Incredibly deep, fresh, wet snow overnight, and the descent is actually quite treacherous today. Was having a bit of fun a few minutes ago, and then very quickly had a couple of bad falls, so take it down a notch. And well, that's a first. I've seen mud take shoes off before. I've never seen wet snow take a spike off before. You're coming with me, bud. And I ran out of time to get a second lap in before I got to get my little man to swim lessons. But got a lap in, and we'll get back at it again tomorrow. Alright, it's Wednesday, and I am back at the trail. This will be a bigger day today, and thankfully, so far so good this week. I had a typical Monday, which is a day off with a gym session and a massage, a Tuesday where I can normally get one lap in between my coaching calls, and then Wednesday can normally be a bigger day, which it ideally will today, and unexpectedly, on forecast, it is sunny out and looking good. I know there's obviously people watching this and going, well, that guy doesn't work for a living, that's pretty nice. That's not the case. I direct 10 events that I've created myself with a co-race director, and I coach 20 athletes with a co-coach, different business partner there. And I've already directed one event 2 weeks ago. My second event of the season is next week, and my third event of the season is 3 days after getting back from the Barkley, where I direct a 50K and a 100K race. So I definitely keep myself busy. You may or may not recognize this from last week's video. It's been like this the entire week. Last week I referenced the contrast between the bottom and the top, with the green and the rain down here and the snow up top. Well, there is no longer any contrast. So that's one. I'll definitely get my 3 in for today. But there's a lot of loose snow up top. Well, our little weather window lasted about 2 hours, which I'm very happy to have taken advantage of. And got 9,000 feet. Got 9,000. Take my word for it. Alright, good. Over the last 16 days, I've done over 75,000 feet of climbing and descent, which sounds like a lot, and I'm worked from it, as you should be. And then you just step back and realize that the Barkley last year had 67,000 feet of climbing and descent, and this year will probably have close to 70,000, and you get 60 hours. And that right there is what puts the whole thing in perspective and what makes it so hard. In 16 days, I am floored from doing about the vertical profile that I need to do in 2.5 days. Thank you, Reed. It's Thursday, March 9th. We are here again. It's interesting. This morning, Linda said to Reed before I left that Daddy was going to war today, which was a nice little joke that she was mentioning, and it's all I've been thinking about since I drove up here, which is a 10-minute drive. And could not be more accurate. Every single day is just a battle. It's a war between my ears to get out here and do the same thing over and over again. This is not who I am in general, day-to-day training and living, to go just do repeats on the same terrain, the same trail all the time. Bores the hell out of me. I once went 3 full months in a summer 3 years ago and didn't run the same trail twice. And I'm definitely fueled a lot more by adventure than the repetitiveness and the numbers. But it's March and Barkley is in April, and there's only one way to potentially succeed, and there's only one way to potentially get there's only one way to actually get the vertical in for this race, especially this season where it's just an incredible amount of snow, as it still snows a little bit around me right now. So I find myself every single day doing the exact same thing and trying not to go completely insane while doing it. But overall, I feel really good. There's just over a week of training left to go, and it'll be a big week. And overall, body feels good, and I think this is exactly what needs to be happening with my mind, just in terms of it's not supposed to be easy. The Barkley scares the hell out of me. David Horton said to me in an email or a message after last year that going back a second time is harder than the first time, no matter how much success you've had. And I think that's really true. I know what it is now, and it's scarier than it's ever been before. And just knowing the potential for failure after all this work, and the slim chance of success, and that is why people gravitate towards the race, and it's why I'm going back. But that thought haunts me right now, that you can do everything right in training and you can still come up well short of finishing the race, just based on many different variables. And I think one of the hard things this year is there's so much expectation, external for sure. I expected and hoped to finish last year. That hasn't changed. But now it really seems like there's a reason people are watching these videos and I'm posting them. There's a interest in this race and my attempt at it. And it's never a foregone conclusion that you're even going to be fortunate enough to make a fun run or the 5th lap, let alone be graced with a finish. But that's why I'm here. And that's how I can silence my mind day in and day out.
I've been out 2.5 hours and I've got 5,500 feet done. I've got 2 laps and I set out to do 10 and I'm going to do that. I did 9 yesterday. It's been a lot of time in my head today just trying to not allow myself to quit. If you can't make it through a training day and block and back-to-backs like this, no chance in hell at Barkley. And one thing I realized is that I actually kind of I prevent myself, almost forbid myself from using music, audiobooks, podcasts to distract myself while I'm out on these training runs. There's great benefit in that, and I've used it in training and races before, and I would again for other races. But for me, for this race, all of it is mental, and the small demons that have to be conquered and met along the way in the day-to-day training runs. If you can't work your way through those rationally and come to terms with them and embrace them and make friends with them without needing to be distracted, I feel like that's a critical conditioning component in the training. And I've always said, and I think any athlete knows, that the training is more mental than it is physical most times. convincing yourself that you can do what you're setting out to do. And today's a day about I'm faffing right now. I really do a good job at not faffing when I'm out on these runs. This is faffing. I'm turning this off and I'm going to get moving again. Well, 4 BCMC laps for 11,000 feet on top of 9 yesterday for 20,000 feet in the last 28 hours or so. We're getting there. Every single day like that you battle through and get in the bank makes you feel like you are one step closer to potentially succeeding at your goal. That was a good day today. It was a hard day today, and that's why it was a good day today. I'm very pleased with that.
And here we are. This is pretty much what we have endlessly here in the spring. Just a window of rain in the forecast. I think our meteorologists actually go on vacation in the spring and just leave this up for us to endure. Alright, it is Friday, March 10th. It's raining out, and for some reason, I'm happy about that. When I was driving up to the mountain this morning, I could see the snow line had receded greatly and that the rain was taking some of the snow away. I might even set foot on dirt today, which has been a long time coming. I woke up super sore and fatigued. We didn't get a great night rest in our house last night. Our son was all over the place, and yet somehow I feel rejuvenated today. Because today is my recovery day and I only have to do one 3,000 foot climb. One and done today. Single lap. Ain't no thang but a chicken wang. Alright, it's Saturday. Looking to close off 40,000 foot week with 8 today. My buddy Jake's in town from DC. Don't normally bring training partners, but Jake's a pretty good dude, so I'm happy to spend some time with him out here today. And the BCMC trail is very busy on a Saturday, as is to be expected, so we tried to come down Skyline Drive, and that's not going so well right now either. But I thought I should bring my buddy Jake over and show him the wreckage we've got on the mountain here of the F-86 Sabre from 1954. One more lap to go, and we'll get over 8 for the day, get to 34 for the week, put 6 in the bank tomorrow for 40. It's been a fun day today. It's been nice having someone actually listen to me spout off all day for once. This is like Red Bull crashed ice. We are basically professional Red Bull crashed ice athletes today. Eat your heart out, Red Bull. Our course goes down for 2,500 feet. That was on purpose. Just like I promised, sunny spring weather in Vancouver. I know, shorts and t-shirts, we're going to the pool now. Sunday morning, I have 34,800 feet of climbing so far this week. I set out to get 40. I am at the trailhead to collect my remaining 5,200. If only there was some way I could just get this over with quicker. Like maybe just like snap my finger. If I could snap. Yeah. Done! That was easy. 100,000 feet of climbing and descent in the last 20 days. I'm okay with that. 40,000 feet for the week. Yeah. Woo!
Done.